Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Please take a second to like and subscribe. On this video I will be showing you how to make this marble cup using CRYSTALAC. This is an epoxy alternative. In this cup I'm going to be using Brite Tone, which is water based and non-toxic. It's very different from epoxy since you have to do several thin layers versus 1 to 2 layers of epoxy. The layers do dry quickly and they can be recoated every 3 to 4 hours. I like it because there's no mixing and no toxic fumes are released. The only protection needed is if you're sanding or spraying the product, which in that case a mask is needed. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is prep your cup. You're going to sand your cup just to get rid of that glossy finish that the cups come with. Make sure you get the edges of the cup. You're going to sand it with 400 grit sanding paper until you start smelling metal. Make sure you're wearing a mask when you're sanding, or if you just try to do it outside if you can. After you're done sanding, go ahead and wash your cup with soap and let it air dry. After your cup is dry, you can go ahead and spray paint your cup. Again, make sure you're wearing a mask. After spray painting, you do have to wait 24 to 48 hours to continue with the next steps. You need to allow the spray paint to gas off and do its chemical reaction before you continue. I usually wait until I can no longer smell the spray paint on the cup, which is usually a couple days. Now you can go ahead and glitter your cup. I'm going to be using Mod Podge to glitter my cup. This is just the way that I like to do it. You can glitter your cup using whatever method works best for you. The glitters I'm going to be using are all from Recollections from Michaels. That one is silver, ocean, marine, paradise, and glitz, which is not the regular white because it does have some pink pigments, and this silver chunky. Using a flat brush, you are going to apply your Mod Podge in kind of like a swirl effect going around your cup. Remember, there's no wrong or right way to do it. You can do the lines as thick or as thin as you want. When you're applying the Mod Podge, you're going to want to make sure that you don't have too many streaks of Mod Podge all in one area. Try to smooth it out as much as you can using your brush to then apply your first coat. If you have streaks, there will be more glitter on that part where there's a streak, so you don't want that. So just try to smooth it out as much as you can. Make sure you are catching your glitter on either a paper or a paper plate, because you definitely don't want to waste your glitter. I will be adding a second layer of glitter on top of this one, so don't worry if your first coat is a little patchy. What you're going to do is add the next color right next to the first one, again in the same swirl effect, making sure that you smooth out your Mod Podge as much as you can. And don't worry if some of the first color comes on to where you're adding the next color. It will happen, but it doesn't matter because it will be covered once you add your next color. You're going to continue with the same steps until you're done with all the colors you're going to add to your cup. The same, applying the Mod Podge, smoothing it out as much as you can, and then apply your glitter. Now I'm gonna add my second layer of glitter, just applying the Mod Podge on top of the colors and adding the glitter on top. I applied each glitter twice except for the glitter, the silver chunky glitter. I made sure to pack that one on really well on the first layer that I did. After we're all done with the glitter, I did let that dry for an hour before I continued on to sealing my glitter. Next, you're going to want to seal your glitter using E6000 spray. You're going to spray evenly, then set your cup down and wait 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you grab parchment paper and you roll your cup in it to flatten out your glitter. I like to repeat this step twice. I only recorded it once, but I did it twice. I sprayed my E6000 spray, waited 20 minutes, then rolled my cup in parchment paper to flatten out my glitter, sprayed again, waited 20 minutes, rolled my cup in parchment paper again, and then sprayed one last time. After that last spray of E6000, I did allow my cup to dry overnight just to make sure that my cup was fully dry to then start coating it with Brite Tone. As you can see, the glitter is stuck on there and there's no glitter fallout, which is why I like to do it this way. And now I am ready to start with my Brite Tone. Remember to allow 3 to 4 hours of dry time in between coats. You're going to want to just do thin layers and build up the gloss. I am going to be adding 3 or 4 coats of Brite Tone before I start with the marble effect, just to get that smooth surface to be able to allow the colors to kind of glide on there to create that marble effect. This is the second coat of Brite Tone. Remember to allow your cup to dry for 3 to 4 hours before adding another coat, and each coat is applied the same. Before your third coat of Brite Tone, you're going to want to sand your cup. Make sure you take protective measures again when sanding. I usually sand my cups outside, but for the purpose of this video, I went ahead and did it inside, but I was wearing a mask. You're going to want to just sand your cup with 400 grit sanding paper just to try to get those rough spots off. After sanding, you're going to notice a difference on how smooth your cup is going to be. Just kind of run your finger and then sand where it's rough. After sanding, you're going to want to wash your cup with just water and allow your cup to air dry. This is my fourth coat of Brite Tone. This is going to be my last coat of Brite Tone before I start the marble effect. As you can see, the cup is starting to get that glossy finish already after the third coat. So this is the fourth coat. Then I'm going to let it dry for 3 to 4 hours and then start with the marble. For the marble effect, I'm going to be using these acrylic paints, as well as these mica powders from Recollections. You're going to start by adding just a little bit of Brite Tone onto your paper cups. The first acrylic paint that I used was Artist Loft, and it was titanium white. And I also went ahead and added the white mica powder. Using popsicle sticks, you go ahead and stir that up. The next color I used Craftsman Pale Blue, and I also added the white mica powder to that. For the next color, it's Folks Art Sapphire, and that's like a metallic blue. The next acrylic paint was also from Folks Art, and it was Sterling Silver, and that one is also a metallic acrylic paint. You're going to add a thin layer of Brite Tone. Adding Brite Tone will allow your colors to be able to glide on to create that marble effect. You are going to start by basically just adding the colors that you made using Brite Tone and acrylic paints onto your cup, just randomly on your cup. I like to kind of go on the same direction that the glitter swirls are going in. I like to add all four colors, and then using a straw, you go ahead and blow upwards and it starts creating that marble effect. And just play around with it. I mean, add colors, blow the colors around a little bit until you're satisfied. Once I was satisfied with my marble effect that I created, I went ahead and allowed the cup to dry for 3 to 4 hours, and then I applied my 6th coat of Brite Tone. After this coat, the cup will be ready for a decal. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with these cups, so I won't be adding a decal on camera. But basically after this, the cup is pretty much done unless I'm going to add a decal. Okay, so here's the final product. I had already made a cup using the same colors. That's why there's two. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.